Alright, hello everybody, my name is Matt, and welcome back to the part 2 of the City of Andea tour. Now, if you haven't seen part 1, I will put a link in the description, just so you can check that out. So we already looked at Southern Marina, and we're picking up exactly where we left off in this greenhouse. So in this video, I want to head north, which is just straight ahead, and we're gonna have a look through Northern Marina and through some of the original areas of the city, and then we're gonna slowly make our way over to the Central District. So let's walk up here. So we have this nice spot here, this nice roundabout here, which I believe we've already seen. And last episode, we had a look through this museum here. And I apologize if the frames are a little bit lower than usual, but I think it's worth it since we get to see a little bit further. So we do have quite a few players on right now, so the server is a little bit slow, but that's all right. I like it when people explore as well. So we have a couple odd vehicles that you may notice if you walk around, and a couple tanks here, which is really interesting. But anyway, we're going to keep going here. So we have this parking lot, and then all this bus parking here, and these bus lanes here, and we explored over there last time. So if we come up here, we can see that we have this old clock tower, and this here, it was originally meant to be a metro station, but I'm honestly not sure what the plan is now, because this has been here for probably for about 3 years, but we haven't touched it. I mean, I've worked on it a little bit, and then we kind of got lost with the direction of it. So I'm not sure what the plan is. It's a cool building, though. It's really interesting. So again, this is Southern Marina back here, and we're just going to keep coming up the roads here. Over here, we have an art museum or art gallery. This has been here quite a while, and if we come in here real quick, there's all this interesting modern art, and then you can come up here as well. We have a sculpture here with the bowl. It's very interesting, some cool chandeliers going on. I won't show you everything, I want you guys to explore a little bit as well. And I will have the IP for CubedCommunity. I will put that in the description if you want to check it out for yourself. Okay, so let's keep going up here. We're going to walk up these stairs. And this area here, it's a little bit empty right now. We are going to put some stuff in there. Same thing with that corridor down there. We don't know what we're going to put there yet, but we do have a market down there, so we might try and play off that and kind of extend it upwards. And so we do need some pedestrian crosswalks. I remember trying to plan one here, and then I actually never got around to it. So if you do see a lot of things that are out of place or don't really make sense, it's because we do have a plan for it, but we haven't gotten around to it because the city's pretty big. So I want to show you this building. This is a building that I made a while ago. I found a picture on Pinterest, and I believe it is of a restaurant in London. Although I don't remember the name of it, but I just thought it was a cool building, so I decided to go ahead and recreate it. You have this interesting roof line. And then up here would be a restaurant or a shops, I guess. And then I decided to add a little spot in there. That's a little boat in there. I did not build the boat. I found it's... actually, I don't remember. But the important thing is I did not build it. And then down here, I was planning on putting a restaurant. Once again, surprise, surprise, I have an unfinished project. And then back here, maybe we'll have some seating or something like that. Yeah, you know, it's a cozy spot back here. We have this nice tower here. And then if we head up this way, we can see there's this black tower. And then it sort of continues this way. And then there's a couple different buildings over here. So I built this tower and this base here. I did not do the bottom floor interior, although I did do the upper floors. And I haven't been up there in probably about a year or two. And CubedPack has gotten quite a few updates since then, so I'm not sure if it still actually looks good with the decorations that I put in there. We definitely did not have the furniture in CubedPack at the time that I built this. So it will look a little bit outdated if you do decide to explore it. So over here, I wanted to use a lot of black, and then I used these lighter tiles just as a bit of a contrast. And then I was using this glass here just to emphasize the side to side rather than up and down, because if we go over here, You can see that there's lots of pillars that go all the way up. So you already have a lot that's emphasizing the vertical side of this. So I wanted to have a little bit of glass just to pull it side to side. Okay, coming around this side here, you have the road here, you have your dividers. Lots of palm trees here. You notice they're not crazy tall or anything. And we have a nice healthy blend of small and medium sizes, and then a couple bigger ones here. But when you have the palm trees on the side here, it gives a little bit of context to the scale of your build. Because if you didn't have any trees there, it would be really hard to tell how tall this actually is. But since we do have it now, and we also have the streetlights here, it just gives the pedestrians that are walking around, if you do decide to walk around at street level instead of flying, it gives it a little bit more context to how tall it is. And again, I talked about some of these builds in my How to Play Minecraft Like an Architect video if you want to check that out. I go a little bit more in depth there too. And this video is more just a tour. Okay, so this building over here, that tower there, that was my first building in the City of Andea, I think in 2018. I think that's when I started building it. It was originally built in a flat world, and it looked quite a bit different than this. I think it was just regular dark gray glass. And then eventually I decided to change the materials up a little bit. And then you can see behind here that there's actually two different types of glass. So it just adds a little bit of extra depth and makes it so that you can't really see in from here. So it's just a bit of extra privacy as well. And I made sure to cut out a layer of glass between each floor just to make it so that you can tell how tall it is. Okay, so if we come into this area here, this is a pedestrian area that I made, and we have this sky bridge here that if you want to get up there, you'd go up this staircase and then take a left. And then here's a little secret here. So if you come down here and then come in here, there's this nice little bar that I made. So lots of red brick and lots of black, and then you have your grays on this far wall here. And then you have all your greenery as well. So this color combination, I think it looks pretty cozy. Then you have all these speakers. And then if you mix it with the lights, and then these light bulbs here, which I think are iron fences. I can't remember what biome they're in, but they do work quite well with cozy spaces. But yeah, another design feature when I was building this is if you use more of a light color for one of your walls, it's going to make that wall feel a little bit further away. So same thing with dark colors, it's going to be the opposite. So if you use a dark color on a wall, it's going to make it feel closer. So you can mix and match this. If you want to have a dark ceiling, it's going to make your ceiling feel lower. Or if you have a light ceiling, it's going to make it feel just a little bit taller. That part's not done yet, even though I made it probably about 3 years ago. So if we come this way, these nice big trees, and you can see the sky up there. Lots of different shops around here. Your lights. And then these are shops in here, and then I think those are apartments up there. We've had lots of different people furnish all the shops in here. So anything in here that's furnished, I likely did not do. So it's really interesting. Lots of cool designs. I really need to get back into doing interiors because I haven't done it for quite a while. Nice cozy space back here. Lots of rain protection. I probably should have done something on the ceiling. This feels not very inviting. So maybe eventually I'll fix that up. And then I want to show you this right here. So this is an architecture firm that I made probably 3 or 4 years ago. I think this was one of my first builds as well. I think I made it along with the tower over there. Oh, it's hiding. I don't know where it went. But you know the gray, or I guess it's white now. The white tower that we were looking at earlier. So I believe I made it right around the same time. So I'll just show you the inside here real quick. So it's 2 floors. This is kind of the back entrance. So the main entrance is up front, which we'll get to in a minute. And you have all these desks. You have this collaborative area here, which I'm stepping on the table. Probably shouldn't do that. For all your floor plans and blueprints and stuff like that. You have a meeting room. And then you have this 2-story opening here, and we'll check that out in just a second. You have a washroom, and then this is sort of the front area where you have your reception. And, oh, interesting. Oh, they completely redid this road. I had no idea. This is my first time seeing this. Oh, cool. I'm excited to check it out. Wow, okay, it looks really different. There's lots of new stuff over there. Okay, I'm not going to spoil it for myself yet. So we'll check this out, and then we'll keep going. Lots of skylights, so we'll come up here. We have this nice little area. Very cozy. And same thing as the lower floor with all your desks. And then this nice diagonal sort of glass wall here. Very nice. And then a nice little spot back here just to relax. So I didn't want to have just plain boring ceilings, so I decided to add a little bit of depth there. And then I have these little decorations here. These are purely for decoration. So I have a fence coming down, and then I just have iron trapdoors just going diagonal, kind of zigzagging across the ceiling. And then up here, this is my office, I guess you can call it. Just a nice little office on the front, a little bit of artwork. I don't really know what it's supposed to be, so don't ask. And then a nice view of some of the towers over here. Okay, so that's it for this. We're just going to jump down here, and we'll keep going. So let's come out here. You have another sky bridge here, and then some glass towers here. And then we'll get to that one once we come around the other side. Okay, so very interesting. So they added lots of elevation changes. I'm excited to check that out in a while. This is a parking garage that I made, I don't know how long ago. I think this was made for the city that I built before Andea. And then I think I just copied it in. So this is probably from 2017 or 2016. So it's pretty outdated. I don't think it looks horrible. It's not very practical, but as far as aesthetics go, I think it's okay. All right, we're getting into Northern Marina now. We have lots of point towers going on here. And then me running into trees. So you have your brick base, and then you have your tower on top. So you'll see that's a pretty common theme as we keep exploring. All right, let's cross the street here. This building was based on a building in Vancouver. I can't remember exactly where it is. I think it's in Yaletown. But I kind of wanted to use the brick, and then anything that's indented, I used with bedrock, and then you have your black materials here. And then this sort of sticks out. It doesn't really have any practical use. I just thought it kind of looked cool. And then I wanted to add tension members here just because I thought it looked cool. Keep in mind, I made this quite a while ago. I think I was still in high school when I built this. So it's not super structurally realistic. But that's okay. I think it still looks pretty cool. The inside of this tower is furnished. The bottom part is not. Again, you can see I have a very bad habit of not furnishing my builds. But you can see it's a bit older in the decoration. A lot more simple than maybe some of the other interiors you'll see around here. But I still think it looks pretty cool. A nice bedroom here right on the corner with lots of window views. So if you got your render distance up here, then you'd have some nice views of Central Park. But anyway, we'll keep going. Same thing, this wraps around here, this base continues. And then you have a second point tower that's on this. And then this one is also pretty old, so don't mind the furnishings. And once again, I made this building in my old city. So I want to say 2016 is my best guess for when I built this one. Again, fully furnished, but very, very old furnishings. Very minimal. I guess that was my style at the time. My style does change quite frequently when I am building. But this building, it's based on a building, I think it's near Granville Island in Vancouver. I believe it's a residential building, at least the top part of it. I couldn't tell what the bottom type was in real life, so I decided to make these into row homes. So each one of these sections is one unit, so these first 3 floors. And then it repeats, and then same thing there, except for this one, I just cut the top part off. So on the top part here, each of these sections represents 1 unit. So in total, there are 3 units. Again, a nice spot in here, little barbecue here. This is my old barbecue design. Actually, I still use a pretty similar design, so that hasn't changed very much. Nice little spot in here. And you will be able to see the waterfront. I don't know if you can see it from here. I don't think my render distance is high enough, but it is there. I promise it's there. So if you're sitting here on a warm summer's eve, then you're going to get quite a view. Okay, so I'll show you quickly inside. It's nothing special. And keep in mind that there has been a lot of changes with the texture pack. So I believe these were probably just pots with flowers in them. And now this is what a flower pot with a cactus looks like. And yes, I know it's not supposed to be a cactus. What it's meant for is for pot lights. So you'll take this and then you'll put it in your ceiling and then it won't have floating pots there. So it does actually look good if you use it for pot lights. But yeah, then this goes up here. I'm not going to show you too much here. So I'll just jump down here. So this is the entrance and then you have the elevator. Then you come out here. This is the other unit. Little kitchen back here. Not very many windows. I don't really know what I was thinking. That's not very safe. It looks pretty, but it's not very safe. A bit of a overgrown pathway here too. That's okay. Okay, so I want to bring you over here and then we'll continue up that way. So if we go over here, we have this sign here. And so this area down here, this is mostly boat storage and there is a dock as well. So lots of cool stuff here. A little bit of inspiration for you guys. I did not build any of this stuff here. I don't know if I've ever... Actually, I have tried to build a ferry before, and it did not turn out at all. It was not pretty. And I think I deleted it immediately because it was really bad. So when I am building my new city, I think I'm going to ask other people to build boats for me, and then I'll just copy and paste them in. Okay, so over here we have cranes that lift up boats off trailers and put them on here. And then this machine, it lowers them down into the water and then they can sail over this way. Same thing with this one. This one's just for smaller boats, I would imagine. And then you have your boat ramp here coming all the way down into the water. And if we come over this way, we can see that we have some pretty big yachts. I am not aware of who built them, but I do know that they have been here for quite some time. I don't know if they have interior. This one does not. Oh, I guess this one does. Oh, that's interesting. I think they've been around since about 2018 when we started the city. Okay, yeah, that's pretty cool. Alright, so we'll keep going here. Actually, I want to change the time of day. There we go. I think that looks a little bit better. Get a little bit of shadows going. Very cool. Okay. You have this trailer here. Supplies maybe for the ships. And then we have this area down here. So I was working on this area probably about 6 months ago, and then I kind of forgot about it, which again, one of the areas that I need to finish. But this view right here, actually, let me load this in. If I load a little bit of this, and then I come back here, I took a screenshot from right here. Actually, it looked probably something a little more like this. And it was on the Minecraft launcher for a while. I don't know if you saw it. I don't remember when it was. I think it was probably about a year ago. But I posted a screenshot into the official Minecraft Discord. And then one of my friends sent me a picture of the launcher and said, hey, your picture's on it. So I thought that was pretty cool. And I did not expect that. So just a bit of interesting information for you. Okay, so we'll set that back. This orange thing I'm going to put as a little bridge. And the reason this is here is because I wanted to make the bridge green. Oh yeah, there's this enormous cruise ship. So if my frames are already low, actually they're okay right now, but my guess is they're going to drop quite a bit lower. So this ship is enormous, and there's actually two of them. There's another one way back there. There we go. There go my frames. So there's two ships, And this was made by, let's see, Das Igloo. So I know him, he's a pretty cool guy. You guys should follow him on Planet Minecraft and on Twitter, because he's a cool guy, and he makes a lot of cool ships. I have no idea how long this took to make, but my guess is quite a while. And it's fully furnished too, which is mind-blowing to me. And it's a lot closer to a 1-to-1 scale, which is why the ceilings feel a little bit lower. Okay, so I'm going to get lost in this ship. I just want to find the center. Don't know where it is. Okay, we are going to get very lost. Okay, never mind. I'm going to go up here, and we're going to try this instead. So there is a ridiculous amount of decorations, which must have taken forever. Cool bar. Lots of stuff down here. Lots of seating. Different restaurants. Yeah, there's lots of cool stuff. I'm gonna go in spectator mode for a second, because I believe there was a central part of this, except I'm very lost. Maybe not. Maybe it's in the other one. Okay, I'll put myself back in creative for now. But I won't do too much exploring on this because I don't want this video to be super long. But it's enormous and there's a lot of stuff and I think it's really cool. Yeah, but anyway, there is another one which, by the way, is even bigger than that one. And also happens to be fully furnished. And this one replaced another cruise ship that was smaller than that one, but the guy that built it, he decided to replace it because this was his newest creation. So this one is somehow even more amazing than the other one, which is really cool. Lots of water slides here. And then there's this big, I think it's a mall in the middle that you can walk through. You can explore every little nook and cranny of this boat. There is an engine room on both ships, if you can find them. I don't know how to find them unless I go into spectator mode and fly through it. But it's incredible. The amount of detail is ridiculous. It's very cool. And I believe these ships were made for default, not for CubedPack. So if you do see some textures that are off like this, then feel free to switch to default to explore these. But it's incredible, the level of detail and the amount of commitment to make this. So I'm not going to explore too much. Just going to give you a brief glance. But all of it is all furnished and it's all unique. You even have a basketball court over here. And it keeps going here. More water slides. See, there's a second opening. I believe both of these ships are based on real life cruise ships. I'm sure somebody in the comments, if you do know the names of them, feel free to leave a comment. But I'm not a big ship guy, so I wouldn't be able to tell you. But yeah, it's enormous. Up there, we're not quite done yet. We still have quite a bit. We're doing a terrain expansion too, because we have some more plans. But yeah, so I'll show you that once that gets underway. Okay, so if we come back this way, just for context, that's the ship we were just at, and this is the first one. This building here, I made... Actually, I think I have a date on it. Let me fly down and see. Again, sorry for the frames that are dropping. So this is my design. I designed this whole thing. And it is from March 2018. This is when I designed this. So I guess I was in my first year of university. I was in civil engineering, not architectural engineering. This was before I transferred into architectural engineering. So I did not know a whole lot about architecture at the time. But I wanted to do something with the roof here that I thought was kind of interesting. So essentially what I did is I used a function, a mathematical function, to make one of the sides of the roof. So like this section right here. And then I think I just took it, I copied, and I flipped it to the other side, so then it made this part where it goes up to the peak there and then back down. And then I took it and I copied it twice more. And then, so I had this here. Oh, hello, there's somebody flying around. So I had this here, and then I copied it. I flipped it over here, and then I pasted it, and then I just stacked it down, and then I just replaced a bunch of the roof here with some glass. So I wanted to use this shape because I thought it looked like waves, and I just thought it was kind of interesting. You know, sort of match the aesthetic of the ports and the cruise ships. So I'll give you a bit of a tour inside. Not done yet. What does this say? Oh, that's me reminding myself to do it. Okay. So this is supposed to be the main entrance. And then you'd come through here. And then there's different shops and stuff. And then you come in here. This is sort of the main check-in area. Again, if this cruise terminal and the layout is nothing like an actual cruise terminal, please let me know, because I've never actually been in a cruise terminal. I don't know if I'll ever be in a cruise terminal. But yeah, this was just kind of my ideas back in March of 2018. So then you'd come up here, and then you'd come in here for the waiting area. You have this glass here that's kind of dropped down from the skylights. I just thought it kind of looked cool. With shaders, it does look a little bit messy, but if you take shaders off, it looks pretty decent. I made this nice area in here because I wanted people to be able to see the entire ship and look up at the actual size of it. So I was going to make a second cruise terminal area for the other ship. So this was going to be the extension out towards it. And then if we come back here, this was the exit, where I believe you go down here. Or no, sorry, you come from there up here and then around this way. And then up here. And then you can either... Nope, never mind. Sorry. I guess I have my directions mixed up. So, okay, so you come up here. And then you cross this sky bridge. And then over into the LRT line. Or I guess not LRT, the metro line. So there's train lines up here. And then there's also more subway lines way down here. And they go to different places. But again, we're revamping that. A lot of the stuff in Andea we are revamping. So if stuff doesn't make sense, you are correct. It does not make sense. We are aware. Okay, so we're going to come back here, and then we're going to start making our way back into the area of Northern Marina. So this building here, this was based on a building in Vancouver. And I think it's the new Vancouver Sun building. The old one was a really historic... I don't know what style. I can't remember off the top of my head. But I think it had a dome on top. That was the old one. And then they moved into a new office tower, which it's right on the northern coast of downtown Vancouver. So if you want to check it out on Google Maps, I'm sure you could probably figure out which one it is. It kind of sticks out a little bit. And I think it's more of like a sandstone color. Like if you took the sandstone shade from default Minecraft and then applied it to this tower and then put it in real life, that's roughly the color of the tower. So, yep, I made this here a while ago. And then it has a little base here. There's an underground parking garage that's 1, 2, 3 plus 2 more floors underneath. And then in this space here, there's a restaurant. And then I believe this is a modern art exhibit, which is very interesting. Lots of cool stuff in here. This goes into the parking garage. And then that's the exit over there. Lots of cool stuff around here. Okay, so let's go up here. So up there was going to be the financial district, but I think we're going to revamp it and then put it somewhere else. And if you have explored Andea within the past year or so, this area is going to look quite a bit different because we are doing quite a bit of stuff to it. So I built this tower for a time lapse about 1.5 years ago. Still haven't done the interior. Again, bad habit of mine. But if we fly up here, we have all this cool HVAC stuff on top. I think it looks pretty cool. Okay, so we'll come back down here. We have our train lines, unfinished stuff up there. That is going to be a mall. This was a tower, but it didn't really fit, and it was pretty outdated, so we're gonna do something with it. I don't really know what yet, but that's why there's this stuff on top. And these yellow markers, that means we're gonna replace these as well. So lots of cool stuff around here. We have a car dealership. Lots of trees here. Feels very green. We have an overhead pedestrian walkway here. And that's the parking garage on the first floor. Then you can come up here, and if you had your render distance set high enough, you'd be able to see the ocean right down there. And then down here, I made this, and this goes into the parking garage, I believe. I haven't been down here in a while. Yep. Okay, so parking garage. And if we come this way, this leads to the cruise terminal, to the staff area. So this becomes a sky bridge. And then if we come back this way, and we come down here, this is a cozy little area where you have your cruise ship way over there, peeking over the top. Then you have downtown again, back in Northern Marina. And then I have this building here. This is sort of an interesting building. I originally made it by drawing just on a piece of paper. I was just messing around with different shapes, and I sort of accidentally made the shape of this building. If I can find the door here, there we go. I'll fly up here, and you might be able to recognize that it's a lot of circles that connect on the 45-degree angle points, and then they go around. So that's what this is here. It goes down here, curves to the bottom, and starts to go back up. And then once it gets to this point here, it switches, and then it goes all the way around here. And then it comes up to this point, and then it stops, and then immediately goes back to 45-degree angles. So for this glass here, I was kind of inspired by a racetrack turn. So you know how on a racetrack, when the cars are going around a turn, typically they will angle it inwards, otherwise the cars will slide off. So that's kind of what I was going for. So going this way, and then it starts to angle more and more. And then I got to here, and then I noticed that I had to bring it up to this level. So I thought, hey, why don't I just keep going? And then obviously it's not going to be like a racetrack when it's inverted like this, but I thought it was just kind of a cool design. And then I made it sort of come to a point here. And if I had it flat out this way on this side, then it would have kind of ruined the point here. But since I put it back at, I guess it's not a 45-degree angle. It's I have 2 and then 1 and then 2. I don't really feel like doing math in my head. So I don't know what that angle is off the top of my head. But I felt like it went more to a point here, and I thought it stood out a little bit more. So I thought that was kind of interesting. So anyway, just some weird architecture. I don't really know what I was thinking on this corner here. It doesn't really work. I don't really know what I was doing. It works from this angle because it's sort of an arch. So looking from the front it works, but I don't really know what I was trying to do over here. But we're going to ignore that because that's 3-4 years old, I think. Anyway, so we'll come over here. We have this point tower that I made. This is furnished. This is a little bit more modern with the furniture, so this is a little bit more recent. I do like this interior. Nice and clean. Same thing all the way up. Lots of trees here. Very walkable place. Although the streets are maybe a little bit bigger than I would like. Maybe I'll try and expand the sidewalks a little bit. I made this building too. I don't remember what my inspiration was, but it's quite old. And then if we come up here, this one is a pretty new building actually. I made this for Instagram and TikTok, I want to say probably 3 or 4 months ago. And I made this really cool animation too, if you want to check that out. I'll put a link to my Instagram in the description. And then if you want to find it, you can just scroll through and you'll be able to pick it up. So this is one of my more recent builds. And then this was inspired, I think originally by the TD Towers in downtown Toronto, although Now that I look back at it, I probably could have done quite a bit better, but I guess that was just the inspiration for it. But yeah, so that's most of Northern Marina. So we'll keep pushing this way. There's this thin tower here, which doesn't actually have elevators or stairs in it. So I don't really know what I was thinking. Don't do that. Don't follow my example. I made this one for a video. This one's a lot more realistic. You have your elevator overruns and then your stair overruns. Alright, so now that we're going sort of this way and up that way, I cannot take credit for any of this architecture. So none of this is mine. This is all the work of the builders and specialists and, well, staff members, I guess, on the Cube community server in the City of Andea. Again, if you'd like to check it out for yourself, I'll put the IP in the description. So I'll explore a little bit through here, and then in the next episode of the Andea tour, which I will try not to leave for 4 months once again, I will try to make it a little bit sooner, then we will explore a little bit more. Anyway, that is all for this video. Thank you all for watching, and if you want to explore it for yourself, then I will put the IP in the description as well as the link to CubedPack. Alright, I will see you next time.